Chapter 5. That night, a strange human villain haunts my dreams, like the baddie in an 80s horror movie. I wake up shivering, partly from the cold, because yeah, it is freezing. My winter sleeping outfit is someone's weird old Halloween Chewbacca costume. And Quint's makeshift heater, a bunch of PlayStations and Xboxes piled on top of one another, is not working. But mostly, it's a shiver of fear. That was a human villain using my weapon as part of a bad dude plan. We need to retrieve that human and retrieve my Louisville slicer, and soon, because if this monster riding human decides to attack, I'm afraid we're unprepared. See, our monster town is now a ghost town. Some monsters are huddled up inside stores and shops inside Wakefield Town Square, too terrified of the snow to come out. This must be fixed. I brew some hot chocolate and the smell soon has my buddies waking. Guys, I say, this villain lady knows stuff about Rezok. So if a fight goes down, and fights do kind of always go down around here, then we need our monster buddies ready to rumble alongside us. And they're not ready to rumble. We must show them the wonders of winter. I don't get their problem with I don't get their problem with winter. Winter rules. That way, when the bad stuff sets off, they won't be too terrified to battle alongside us. Oh, I'll give you a battle, follow me. Moments later, we're outside, having a light-hearted, just horsing around buddy snowball battle. Isn't winter the best? I shout as I hurl a snowball. Such a delight, June says. Monsters are watching. Some are huddled up in blankets, peering through frosty windows. I think I even see one watching through a mailbox slot. I grin. Guys, play up the fun, I whisper. Everyone loves a good friendly snowball fight. That's when Quint appears on the deck of the treehouse with an armful of snowball artillery. Our old-fashioned snowball battle turns awesomely post-apocalyptic and gadgetified. Dirk wields our old tennis blaster 2000, which is now a mobile snow sphere slinger, and things get intense. Splut fling! We're all giggling and laughing and freezing. And it's working. A monster comes shambling out and joins the fun. Unfortunately, that monster is Big Gun. He scoops up a Big Gun-sized snowball and Frosty Big Gun Blast. Bap. And that's the end of that. The Big Gun Blast freezes us to the core. We spend the rest of the day in the treehouse, huddled up near the video game systems, trying to get warm. And the monsters are now extra freaked out. They've become afraid of snow in both flake form and ball form. When we finally finish thawing out, Dirk makes a suggestion. Ice fishing. Fish for ice? I ask. Why would we fish for ice? Ice is everywhere. The whole world is basically a Super Mario snow level. No, dork, Dirk says. You fish for fish through a hole in the ice. It's my favorite part of winter. Come on, I know a spot. We convince Skayelka and a few other monsters to join us. They agree, but only after I promise they'll get to eat giant hunks of raw fish. We're walking along a wooded trail, freezing our butts off, when I hear movement in the trees. Whoa, look, June says. Two little critters just went tumbling past. Skayelka halts. A strange snarl sound escapes her nostrils, and her hands tighten around her axe. She suddenly means business. What are those rolling goo ball things? Ignore. It is Ward, the alone one. What's the alone one? June asks. Not in the community, Skayelka says. One that does not matter. The way Skayelka says it, it's clear the conversation is over. Skayelka is not a big fan of the alone one. At the lake, I learned something that's a bummer. Ice fishing is the most boring thing on earth. You drill a hole in the ice and you just sit there. That's literally it, the whole thing. You can't even talk because apparently that scares away the fish. After the 5th hour of cold nothingness, I say, if monsters don't get me first, I will die of boredom. Hey, no talking, Dirk says. Listen to nature. Here's a peace and quiet and ice tentacle burst. Begone, cold one. Oh dear, such horror, such slicing. So, fishing was a big fat icy fell. The only thing we caught was a cold. And there's no way Quint with a runny nose is going to get any creature excited about winter. I'm sitting in the treehouse, bemoaning all this when Quint says, Snowman! Snow creatures, June declares. I keep my mouth shut, but I have thoughts on snowmen. One word, overrated. It's one of those things that sound awesome, but it's never as good as you think it's going to be. I always start off excited about building some massive, amazing snowman. But then, a few hours later, it's oak, I guess. Lame new kid. But we actually do pretty good. Dirk is like a master of snow craftsman. He even gets out a toolkit and carves a totally beautiful ice sculpture. Dude is full of hidden talents. It's going well until the monsters get a load of our construction, and then it goes bad. Ice snow evil! Crush the snow demons! What about ice skating? June asks. Ice skating is fun. And before you give me grief, I'm not talking regular ice skating. I'm talking end of the world ice skating. Down the old highways that runs to the beach and boardwalk. Dirk's in because he's a hockey master. June's in because she's generally athletic, nimble, and above average at everything. Quint's in because he doesn't like being left out of things. It goes Ari, of course. It goes Ari because this massive hibernating horror wakes up and goes nuts. Monster was asleep, now awake, now angry. So, this is part 1 of chapter 5.